今天我们特别专访到韩国 FTA 的谈判专家，要带您深入探讨台湾的下一步该怎么走。
关键时刻掌握关键对话。台湾跟韩国一样，都是以外贸出口为主的国家，因此从某个角度来说，签订自由贸易协议 FTA 就显得相当重要。今年有一个全球非常关注的议题，就是中国和韩国即将完成 FTA 的签署。届时，韩国将是第一个同时跟美国、欧盟和中国大陆签署 FTA 的国家，因此非常的重要。今天我们就直接专访到韩国的 FTA 谈判代表，他是韩国的前外交通商部通商交涉本部长朴泰浩 Tae Ho Bark。Mr. Bark，nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Anne. Hello, audience in Taipei.
According to your experiences and observation, what's the biggest advantage of Korea in negotiating FTA with other countries?
Korea used to depend on a multilateral trading system, like a WTO.
Yes.
But as you know, WTO is not making any progress in terms of trade liberalization. That's why many countries now turn to FTA or RTA. So Korea is not an exceptional case. We just naturally seek for our FTAs.
Yes.
So we rather started a little bit early than Taiwan, but starting with Chile and other countries. But we keenly observed that Mexico, which Korea is competing with in the U.S. market, has an FTA with the United States in 1993. So from that time on, we start to pay attention to have a bilateral FTAs.
After more than 10 years' efforts, do you think that the potential benefit is more than predicted?
You know, economic growth depends on not only trade, but also many other things. So we always can say, because of FTA, we could have done, we are doing better than without FTAs. So we cannot say definitely we have a huge gain from FTA, but still, we have to increase our not only export but also imports for consumers. Now consumers are complaining, even we have FTA, why the price will not go down. For example, the price of wine, cosmetics, So that means domestically, after FTA, you have to also reform your distribution industries, so that the imported materials are reaching consumers without much barrier.
One of the most hot issues that the whole world focused on South Korea is the FTA between China and Korea. So do you think it will be officially signed this year?
Actually, I was the one who started this Korea-China FTA negotiations in May 2012. And last November, when my president met with Premier Xi Jinping in Beijing, we declared that the negotiation is almost completed. So I think the final steps are still remaining, but I think we will sign sometime very soon.
This year?
Of course, before the end of this year, maybe before the first half of this year.
What's your point of view about it? What's the meaning?
Korea and China trade, from the Korea's viewpoint, China is the #1 trading partner now. We are trading more than 200 billion US dollars, bilaterally. So it's a big event to Korea, because Korea, as I said, China is the #1 trading nation, and #2 largest economy in the world. So it has a big implication to Korean economy. However, we don't know the detail yet, because final conclusion is not made yet. But I heard that the depths and the speed of trade liberalization between the two countries is relatively low than Korea-US and Korea-EU FTA. So it's not a very high quality FTA. We didn't discuss much about the market opening of services or investment. We will do that kind of thing in 2 years' time after we start our implementation. So it's a big FTA, but in terms of quality, maybe a little bit lower than we expected.
3 stages about the Korea's FTA strategy. What's the goal in each time?
Actually, 3 stages means the countries we want to have FTA very soon,
Yes.
and then in the medium term and longer term.
Yes.
It depends on the many aspects. In other words, we can start with a little bit easy one,
Yes.
and then we expand our FTA partners with a little bit bigger
Yes.
countries, and then I think EU, United States, China are the most difficult partners to negotiate because they are big. So I think in terms of priority, we start with the easy one, more difficult one, and very difficult one. But we go through all the process now,
Yes.
except TPP, other things.
Instead of TPP, Korea chose RCEP to participate. Why?
We are in the East Asia, right? We are one of the East Asian countries. RCEP means ASEAN plus Korea, China, Japan, India, Australia, New Zealand. So there, how can we not participating? Because we are all the countries in the same region.
Yes.
For TPP, 12 countries are now participating, except Japan and Mexico. All 10 countries, we have a bilateral FTAs. So we'll try to join TPP. But once it's concluded, then we'll join later.
What do you think of Taiwan if we're signing FTA with other countries? Any suggestion?
I think this is very important for Taiwan to have FTAs, because if Taiwan doesn't have FTAs, the best thing is to participate in the WTO.
Yeah.
But WTO is not moving very well. So if you don't belong to certain FTAs, then Taiwan will be marginalized or get some discriminatory treatment. So it's important for Taiwan also to join. So I think already your President Ma mentioned about the participating in RCEP and TPP.
Yes.
I think that's the 2 most important big group you can participate. Because if you do that, then you don't have to worry about individual FTAs.
They still have political factor about maybe Taiwan and China. So not only the EFTA.
I'm teaching international trade at the university. If you open up your markets,
Yes.
I'm not talking about political issues,
I know.
then some industries are very weak and afraid of being open to foreign competition. But you should do that as a government. But some industries don't like it very much. Then you have to persuade them by using a lot of research or fact-based report. And also you have to provide some financial compensation to the losing industries. This is the role of the government. And then also talk to the general public. This is how we want to go in the future.
Yes.
I mean, this is the only way government can do, because market opening will make your country more efficient, more competitive, and consumers, even though they don't feel immediately, but they will expand their choices, and price will go down, quality will go up. So I think consumers should support this kind of market opening.
But why there still have a gap that the government think that they have big efforts to persuade that industry, but we people didn't get that?
Well, Korea had the same thing. I mean, still we have the same thing.
Yes.
But after big FTAs, now consumers have their different mindset. After you liberalize, what's the benefit to consumers? They are claiming that way.
Yes.
So the price of some products, like wine, does go down after we have FTA. To ask the government, why is that so? So not just helping the Korean farmers and Korean industries, but consumers should have their own voices.
In your observation, what's the biggest problem of Taiwan's government?
Through the discussion with your ministers and other experts, I think Taiwanese government should provide more information to the general public, and also let the politician, the Congress, know the steps. You don't have to tell everything, but step by step, you report to the Congress people that we are doing this. And if you want to look at the very detailed information, then you can have a closed meeting, not to the public. So I think providing more information and doing it in a more transparent way. That's the best thing government can do.
But not tell all the details, right?
You can tell details, but if this is revealed, then it's not good for negotiations because you are helping your negotiation partners. So you should keep it confidential.
It's a negotiation skill, right?
Yeah, I mean this is a very basic skills.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Park. We enjoy your talk.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
今日的台湾可以从昨日的韩国学到什么？明日的台湾要如何以昨日的韩国为鉴，值得政府官员参考。